Well, something to think about there. Time for the week in bullshit. Society, and as humanoid David Cameron highlights the value of parenting over the value of paupers having money, noted sociologists Dappy and Fazer from N-Dubs plant their buttocks on the This Week sofa to discuss their views on parenting with Andrew Neil, Abbott and Portillo in a thrilling studio debate.
Fazer and Dappy. You're Fraser, you're Dappy. Yeah. So we got it right.
No,
parenting.
Right.
Almost right.
Fazer.
Oh, Fazer.
Fazer.
Ah. Good, I like it.
How are you guys? Weird?
No.
Yeah, we're great.
Good.
Well, this isn't awkward at all. Anyway, come on, parenting.
One piece of advice I'll give to any parents at the moment, if your child has any sort of talent or anything like that, just make sure you 100% back him.
Encourage it.
The whole way.
Yeah, that is good advice. Parents, you should back your kids. Don't just lock them in a dungeon and deprive them of food and water. Back them. The wide-ranging chat moved on to cover Northern Irish politics.
I'm actually kind of shocked at the MP's wife and what's happened with the whole 19-year-old
Shocking,
thing.
isn't it? Madness.
I have to intervene in that. It's absolutely...
Now you're taking the moral high ground.
But the very next day, it turned out Dappy might not occupy the moral high ground at all. As it turned out, he'd sent threatening messages to a woman who texted the Chris Moyles show to call him vile. As if the poor woman hadn't already suffered enough listening to Chris Moyles. This was ironic, since N-Dubs recently got plenty of coverage for fronting a government anti-bullying campaign. Still, if Dappy gets annoyed at being called vile in a text message, imagine how disrespected he'd feel if we put his photo on the screen and called him a 2-foot prancing mosquito-voiced little titamaboo in a baby's hat and a nincompoop and a twerp and a twit and an oath and a git and a... Royalty! And as Owlman tours New Zealand, 5 News excitedly captures jubilant scenes of him meeting people's offspring.
She met Prince William and he said how pretty she was, but he said he couldn't kiss her because of royal protocol.
Maybe he just didn't fancy her. But it wasn't all fun, as he suffered a minor injury while playing with some kiddie winks.
Somebody threw a ball and it hit him, didn't it?
Yeah. Me.
Was that you? What happened?
Oh, I hit him in the nuts.
Oh, well, there goes the Windsor dynasty.
Health.
Health is a reliable source of filler because it affects literally every body, and each week there's something new that will kill you. Yeah, try and stay calm, because what you're doing now could kill you, according to this sobering CBS News report about a man who suffered a heart attack after years of TV viewing.
With every hour of television watched, there was an 18% increased chance of dying from heart disease. So every hour counts.
That's something to think about next time you're watching Waterloo Road. So, 90 seconds of valuable news time filled, and what have we learned? Well, we've learned that laziness is bad for you, and that if you want to survive, you're going to have to spend the rest of your life, like Captain Cardiac here, desperately paddling away on a fitness machine, like a rat in a lab, repeatedly hitting a pedal for vitamins and air. But TV isn't the only menace. Butter is deadly too. So deadly, a leading heart surgeon recently called for it to be banned.
This is fierce stuff in a nation of butter eaters, isn't it?
I'll say we can't get enough butter in our office. We're butter mad.
Can we have just a little bit of butter on our bread?
No, Turnbull, you can't.
And just to clarify, you're not being paid by any low-fat spread manufacturer?
Oh, no. This is just my passion.
What, you've got a passion for banning butter? But while the doctor isn't receiving payment from any low-fat spread manufacturers, KTB, the whizzy website-owning PR company which brought his comments to the media's attention in the first place, is. Namely, it receives payment from Unilever, manufacturers of Flora, and I can't believe it's not butter. On quiet days when newsrooms are in urgent need of off-the-shelf pre-packaged content, it's easy for PR companies to gently nudge stories involving their clients into the public sphere.
Controversial stuff. Very interesting.
Oh, when I watch health coverage like this, I can't believe it's not better.
Animals.
Animals are almost as funny as foreigners. They're definitely cuter, which is why we cry when we run them over, which isn't the case with, say, Italians.
Chihuahuas are often the dog of choice for celebs who want a handbag-sized hound.
Which sounds like justification enough to send the incisive and brilliant Peter Lane to look at a small dog. How small is she, Pete?
Lulu and a tin of beans. Lulu and a cup. Lulu and the TV remote control.
Well, I hope this is the start of a 2-hour dog-sized comparison special.
And if you're struggling to picture Lulu's weight, she's exactly the same as this bag of pasta.
The unseemly war of words between Conan O'Brien and Jay Leno may have sparked interest in the US media of late, but one man who'll be distinctly unimpressed, whatever the outcome, is our American correspondent and drunk, Doug Stanhope, who's coming up now.
I'm Doug Stanhope, and that's why I drink. You know, more Americans get their news from late-night comedy talk show hosts like Leno and Letterman than any other news source. I don't know if that's true, but I've been told that. They say time plus tragedy equals comedy, and the networks have figured out how to boil that amount of time down to about 5 hours. It's part of the system in America where they spend all day ratcheting up this very important breaking news.
The president announced that he would send 30,000 more troops to that region.
This just in, Obama's sending 30,000 more troops to Afghanistan. Is he breaking a promise?
I'm Shepard Smith. The news starts with deployment orders for war.
And by 11 o'clock at night, some late-night buffoon in a suit comes on and tells you the exact same news stories, only he's got a funny punchline.
Hey, the Today Show was live from Afghanistan this morning. It went head-to-head with Afghanistan's #1 morning show, Good Morning and Death to America.
Thank you. Thank you. And that makes people, oh, it's okay. It's comedy. We'll just go to bed. Who cares if our kids are dying? Because he made it funny. I think that's why I've always hated that current events observational comedy, because there's no bloodlust in it. There's no rage. They just notice and move on.
Roman Polanski is out of prison. He's under house arrest in his Swiss chalet. You know, I saw something at his chalet I thought was really disturbing. Show the footage here. This is his actual chalet.
Months he's been locked up in a Zurich jail, and then when the Swiss court said if he posted $4.5
million... Look at the sign,
million
kids stay free.
Hey, have you heard this in the news? Did you ever notice this? You go, yeah, I have. It made me want to kill people. I want to buy a gun because of it. Who's responsible for it? Let's find the guy. Let's burn down his tool shed. Let's kidnap his kid. Let's send a message. What do we do next? Nothing? We don't do anything. We just notice and move on. That's good enough for you? I want someone dead. You know, Charlie Chaplin said something to the effect that humor is an act of defiance, that we must laugh in the face of our helplessness against the forces of nature or go insane. And where is he now? Dead.
Music! And Sky News' Jeremy Thompson shows off his cool street lingo during a live discussion about Susan Boyle's glaring lack of a Brits nomination.
She, in a way, has been dissed by this.
I love you, Jeremy Thompson. The link-up also featured an exciting live interview with Dappy and the rest of N-Dubs.
Surprisingly, for a live interview on a news channel, Dappy was asked no tricky questions about the texts or the anti-bullying campaign whatsoever.
Instead, they were allowed to moan that the X Factor stars they were up against had an unfair advantage.
Do you think they'll get a bigger vote, or do you think...
They've had 16 million viewers for 6 weeks every day, so yeah.
Of course they're going to get more of a vote.
Yeah, but come on, at least 30 people will have seen Dappy and Fraser's parenting tips on This Week. Stern anchorman Jeremy Thompson even wished N-Dubs well, sort of.
Thank you very much indeed, Steve, and best of luck to N-Dub, who he was just speaking to there.
Yes, best of luck to N-Dub. He's hoping they beat Jules.
Yes, Jules, who Sky also spoke to, together with Ernest singing ice cream cornet LaRue.
In case you don't know who LaRue is, she's basically Jedward for people who hate music.
And that was that. It was a glittering showbiz triumph for Sky.
Which ended with possibly the most astonishing segue in news history.
Thanks, Steve. More from there later. And talking about a show full of celebrities, here's Bill Clinton just arriving at Port-au-Prince Airport.
Well, that's all we've got time for this week. Goodbye.
And the TV moment we've all been waiting for will be finally upon us tomorrow evening. The long-awaited Season 3 of Mad Men kicks off with a delicious double bill at 10. Stay with us here on BBC4 Now, though, as we're off to Nerdstock next.